Hey, deserving listeners, 90 Day Fiancé, let's do this thing.
She has already done this same exact thing with her ex from Morocco. She did really crash and burn from that. So, yeah, we've pretty much kind of planned out our whole day just to keep an eye out on it.
All right, we got to go. Let's go. We can talk about it in the car. I know he comes from a different background, and I'm just going to see how he reacts, how he really handles pressure. Chop, chop.
How he handles pressure? What does that mean, dude? It means you're looking for a fight? So it's under the guise of, well, we care about Rebecca. Rebecca doesn't want them there. They are going to confront him and test him. Ugh, it's not a good look.
Now, our major point that we want to get across to him is that we're here.
We'll be around all the time. We'll come in all the time.
Yeah, you can't handle us. That's a major red flag because we're really easygoing people.
It's going to piss me off.
We're really easygoing people. Just don't piss me off. Yikes.
Yeah. I'm getting nauseous.
Now, there is nothing wrong with the daughter who appears to be parentified, right, and that she's taking care of her mom. There's nothing wrong with daughter taking care of mom, but there's some evidence, very minor evidence, that maybe that's an ongoing pattern that has been going on with this daughter for a long time, maybe even the daughter's entire life. That's what we call parentification in family therapy, which is not fair to kids. And so there's nothing wrong with the daughter worrying and wanting to help the mom. The mom has had some disasters in the past. The mom depends on her daughter for this kind of support. Nothing wrong with that. There is something potentially dysfunctional when you are overriding your mom's wishes in an attempt to protect her, in a way of trying to aggravate the situation such that the situation falls apart. We saw Colt's mother maybe do this. It's hard to know her motivation, but that could have been one of the motivations. So then we wonder, well, what part of your ego is involved in this as well? You're saying you want to help your mom, but you're actually going against her wishes. So what else is behind that motivation? Is something else going on there? For the daughter, I could see her being very skeptical and worried about her mom and how the eventual train wreck that the daughter thinks will happen will affect her, and that she'll have to be there to pick up the pieces. I think she's even stated as such. For Micah, the fiance of the daughter, I'm wondering if this is just a full-on racist motivation. The way he talks about him, I know he comes from a different culture. He said some things in a previous episode that look like he is just because he's Muslim or just because he's from another country, that gives him enough reason to hate him, which we can absolutely imagine in this country of mine.
I don't know, like I can't really explain it.
You thought he would be a lot more enthusiastic once he got here.
Yeah,
but
it's kind of like, it's weird. So, are you hungry?
I think, do you just want to go home? What do you want?
Yeah, I want to go home, yeah.
Are you sure? You're not hungry?
I am not hungry, no. I eat in the plant.
We can go get drinks.
I don't understand this show when people are so eager. The person lands of what's got to be just hours and hours of travel in a plane, and which is just an awful experience. I mean, it's just the worst. I mean, you put up with it, but it's just terrible. And people are always like, "Hey, let's go out. Let's do stuff." It's like, have you never been in a plane ride? When you get off a plane, you just want to go to bed. Jet lag, you don't feel clean, you just want to get organized, you just want to lay down. I mean, you know, when you get to your destination, you finally get to your hotel and you just flop down on the bed. That's the stuff right there. And I just don't understand these individuals. Do they have no travel experience? Do they have no compassion? It just always boggles the mind, especially when the person is like, I think I'd just rather go home, and that they think of it as like an insult. Like, come on, let's do something. It's like, come on, people. Like, can't it wait till the next day?
Talk. Just kind of filling out the vibe.
And have a question. You're about to see America.
Yeah.
My mom's already completely let her guard down. She's just very much love-struck, and she wants to believe that everybody just wants to love her. But I mean, the reality is people are typically just doing it for the visa. like her ex from Morocco did.
Yikes. So it's just that attitude. It's possible that Zied is up to no good and doesn't love Rebecca at all. It's possible Zied is a scammer and doesn't care. It is also possible that he does love Rebecca 100% and doesn't care about coming to the United States. If Rebecca lived in Tunisia, he'd be happy. It's also possible that he loves Rebecca and he wants to come to the States to try to get a nice job. Who knows? I don't know what the situation is like in Tunisia. But all things are possible. To assume one is presumptuous at best and racist at worst. We heard this over and over again, and a lot of people will comment below. They'll say, yeah, I married someone from another country, and even though we've been married for 15 years and have kids, people still accuse my spouse of trying to get a green card. There is xenophobia, there's racism in my society, and it knows no bounds. So I don't want to accuse the daughter, or Micah, of racism and xenophobia, but there seems to be a bias there for sure. Now, as I've said from the beginning, there's nothing wrong with the daughter being worried. Of course, the daughter would be worried, particularly since Rebecca went through something horrible the last time she dated and married someone from that area of the world. And she saw her mom go through some very difficult times. And according to Rebecca and the daughter had to pick up the pieces, that Rebecca really leaned on her daughter emotionally and practically, because I think Rebecca moved in to the daughter's house. So there were a lot of practical and emotional responsibilities that the daughter took on as a result of Rebecca's quote-unquote bad decision that even Rebecca would say happened earlier with her last husband. And so, of course, the daughter is going to be concerned. Of course, the daughter is going to be skeptical. But to assume, who knows? Now, maybe they're right. Maybe by the end of the season, we'll find out that Zied is a scumbag. But we don't know that yet. Now, how do you communicate that? How, as a daughter, do you communicate that? Now, on the other hand, what kind of ongoing family pressure has Rebecca put on the daughter to be parentified and be in control? There are scenarios, I don't know if it's present here, where right from the start, you are in chaos as a parent and you elevate your child to be parentified and take care of you emotionally throughout your life because you feel like you can't get other people to take care of you. You have such low self-esteem or so much chaos or so much relational trauma that you don't think anyone will take care of you, or you have a really hard time navigating relationships. And the only relationship that you feel like you have any kind of control over are your children. And so you need someone to take care of you, and if no one else is, there's a temptation to have your kids take care of you. There's nothing wrong with kids taking care of their parents occasionally within reason, but when it's a pattern and it becomes a big-time pressure, what happens to the child is they lose their childhood. Some of you listening and watching might be able to relate to this. You get a tremendous amount of self-esteem and confidence because like, wow, I'm valued for taking care of my parents. Like I'm above my parents. That makes me feel like a very mature, capable person. But you're also it's foregoing your entire childhood and your innocence and the opportunity to be taken care of by your parents, which of course you need as well. And so there's a ton of hurt and neglect and a lack of ability of exploration of your own needs and your own personality. And there's pressure to not think about your needs. And the parent might, if the kid is just like having a meltdown, say 7-year-old is taking care of mom and 7-year-old suddenly has a meltdown, well, that could cause big problems for the mom because the mom needs you to take care of her. And the mom might reject or abuse or something. And then the kid realizes, oh, my feelings don't matter. I can't have my feelings. And so you get the self-esteem of being able to take care, but you have a lot of hurt and a lot of neglect and a lot of resentment. People who parentify, who are forced to parentify, have a whole sea of anger that has been building up ever so slowly. It's possible, there's no indication of this, just speculative, that the daughter is expressing a little bit of that sea of anger towards her mom by controlling her, putting her down, ridiculing her. I didn't show all the clips, but the daughter frequently ridicules the mom for dating someone younger than her and says this is doomed, these kinds of statements. And so maybe that's part of the dynamic. I don't know. Let's continue watching.
So me and Micah, we're right over his shoulder pretty much, checking him out.
Yeah, we don't know how much time we'll spend. We'll just kind of feel it out, and it's just something he's gonna have to deal with.
You're here.
Yeah.
So what are you feeling out? I mean, what are you looking for? Are you looking for him to go, okay, you caught me, I am in it just for the green card? What do you think's going to happen? If you pressure him and he gets angry and gets defensive, does that prove he's only in it for the green card? How do you test someone? What's your plan? Well, we're just going to aggravate him so he's going to show his true colors, and then we'll find out he's a fraud. How does that work?
But you're gonna have to trust me.
I understand Tiffany and Micah. I tell you something. Don't worry about Rebecca.
I won't worry because it's still my mom.
Yeah, I know.
We will always have concerns because it is totally different than anything we're used to.
All right, now they're actually having a useful, healthy conversation. They're expressing their worries and they're talking it out. The mom is saying, I get that you're worried, but you're just going to have to trust me. This could have gone much worse, and I think that they turned a corner. It got a little tense there for a little bit. I don't know if I showed those clips, but they certainly turned a corner, and now they're in a good conversation, which is very real and normal, and it's okay. And let's see if they can hear each other and validate each other and move forward in time in that pattern of listening and taking care of each other.
Been through before, it ended badly. So, 5, 10, 15 days down the road, y'all are living together, something is gonna come up, then we will have problems.
Yeah, I think I understand. Okay.
Did he just threaten him? I thought this was going well until he literally just threatens him. I mean, who gives him the right to threaten him? We're going to have problems. I don't think Zied understands the threat that Micah is trying to make. Let's just beat someone up and be violent and, that'll solve our problems. Sure. If you haven't become a patron of the podcast yet, you can do so now. Go to patreon.com, become a patron of our podcast. That's how we know you like what we are doing. You don't have to do if you don't want to, of course, but if you like what we're doing on this channel, please become a patron. It would mean a lot to us and our team. And everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.